episode 4 of the Trash Bash podcast. Today, we have 2 special guests, and I'm going to cry for the rest of my life, because they're here right now, so great.
Wait. Let's try and describe them in great detail before we introduce them.
Why are we doing this?
Let's not do that.
So, these are
There's a lot of detail there.
Windsor-bred local musicians who were from 2 very different worlds, but came together as one and started this band. They played in the downtown of the Windsor music scene and have evolved from there. They've turned into something completely different. They've gained members. They've toured the world.
Like a beaver and a piece of bark.
Right.
Exactly. God, they're just so good.
Anyways.
Oh my.
I just want to take a second to recognize the fact that they both went to the same high school. They're both not from Windsor. What just happened?
I didn't say Windsor born. I said Windsor.
You said Windsor bred.
I love Windsor bread.
Oh, man.
Talking Violet Around Dreams now available.
Everywhere.
So we're going to introduce the album before we introduce
Literally.
them.
Okay, so
Please.
we
Guess
have
we're
here.
anarchy now.
Hi, I'm Selena. We have here today Noelle, Justin, Leo, Logan, Anthony, and our 2 very special guests,
I cried.
Jay and Jill,
Uh-huh.
from 2 of the 4 members of Talking Violet. And yes, Round Dreams, their album is available now on everything. Please download.
To our 8 listeners, please download the album.
To literally Erica, who listens to our podcast.
It's amazing.
Download the album.
I feel like we're missing our limbs without Nate and Kenzie.
True.
Yeah.
How
How does it feel there's only half of you here?
How does it feel to be back with your family and separated from the trash that... No, I'm joking. I'm totally kidding.
Wow,
You guys are awesome.
shady.
Well, these 2 are very close friends of ours, and they lived here, they used to chill with us, and then they both followed their dreams to Toronto, and we never see them now, so it's good that they're here.
And we'll get into that. Don't worry, we have
We
questions.
have a couple interview questions.
Yes.
Whenever you want to start.
Well, Anthony is actually going to take over for this one. I'm sure
Word.
everyone is sick of hearing my sick voice. Episode 4 of me being sick and stuffy. Hello.
I am.
Yeah. So Anthony is going to take over and kind of run this episode. So take it away.
Okay, so we got a couple things. They're not even really questions. They're just more statements that we're just going to kind of talk about.
So do we
didn't
debate
add
these
the question.
statements?
Not really debate, but we all get a turn to kind of say something about it.
Okay. I like that.
First, we got the fattest bong rip I've ever heard.
Sick.
So first, we got.
Sick.
We need to go through how we know Jay and Jill and our first impressions of them.
Okay, I would
I'm
personally
nervous.
like to start.
Oh my God.
I would love
This is going
to
to take
start.
some thinking.
Selena and I have a good one.
We have
Oh,
Great.
yeah.
Okay.
Oh, I forgot about this.
Jay and I, we went to the same high school as a few of us all have. I still remember the moment I met him. He was standing with one of my close friends at the time, and I'd walked up to her to go and talk, and I saw Jaden. And I thought, whoa, what's up? My first reaction, the first thing that came to mind that I thought was a good idea to say was, hey, you have diamond earbuds in, so you look like a girl. And that started the 5 months of Jaden Turnbull hating me. Immediately.
Why would
he
you
hated
say
me.
that to him? What's
Because,
wrong with you?
hi, I'm a cunt. Always have been, always will be.
Parental
So-
guidance.
I had gotten those earbuds as a gift
Yeah, and
by my dad, so I had to wear them.
Yeah, and I shaded him
Wait,
hella hard.
earbuds, for music?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah.
Such a bitch.
Yeah, literally. And I just looked at him and I
What
was
grade was this?
haha, this was
Grade 9.
literally grade 9. No,
Oh my
grade 9.
God.
Yeah. This was when our friend's locker was downstairs right outside the Cosmo room.
Yeah,
It was
yeah.
right outside the Cosmo room.
Yep.
And that was the first thing I said was, you look like a girl. and he hated me for a long time, and that was that.
Now we're
I
pals.
also went to their high school, so us four went to the same high school.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
Cell actually
Please
didn't.
identify yourself. So
I also did too. Remember
And you.
me?
Sorry,
I did
I did
not.
not count.
Remember me.
And 5 of us, right? Yes.
Jill.
5, yes, yeah.
5 of us.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
The
So
rest
what
of us were
was the high
scattered.
school?
And
Same
we
high
went to
school.
the same grade school.
Not only
So
that, yeah,
we're
Jill and I
blood.
have probably the earliest history out of like everyone here. It's crazy. We grew up on the same street,
Yeah,
Wow.
we did.
like down the road from each other. Went to the same grade school. Didn't speak 2 words to each
No.
other.
No, but I have like vivid images in my I knew who you were always. I have vivid images of like bus rides, you just like being in the back, and then like I also have like really crazy images of Joel.
Our boy.
Various
He does
memories of
bring up a
him
crazy image.
yodeling on the bus. This was after I moved. But I just
God.
like when I think of grade school, I think of like the bus ride like home every day was iconic. I just see it.
Wow.
Serving you
Speaking
bus.
of Joel, I
There
don't
it
know
is.
if that's-
Serving you bus.
Oh well.
I have no
Fair
idea.
enough.
And then for Jill, I knew of Jill in high school. She's a year younger than me, so I knew of her. I definitely thought she was too cool for me. Like, always. She was the cool music gal, and I was like,
Oh my God,
she's
so-
cool as heck.
Jill was well known
Yes.
and well liked by
Yes.
every single person. I've
I-
never heard
and
anyone
she still
talk about
is.
it.
Yeah.
She still is.
And like I had never said a single word to her ever, but I was just like, wow, she's cool. And then, and I'm gonna get into the story again later because I have to.
Part 1, chapter 1.
But like I remember when there was interest between Jay and Jill, and I was yelling. I was ecstatic about the whole thing. And again, I'll get into that later. But just right from the beginning,
Hollering.
Jill was iconic and is iconic
When
and
we-
always
when
will
we
be.
find out
you're too much.
when I
Iconic.
found out about you two like starting to like each other, I'm pretty sure I melted down. Like that was like
Yeah.
No,
it
you
for
were
me.
pissed at first.
I
You
was,
were
I was angry.
pissed at
I was
first.
angry at first. I do remember this.
Because
now.
I call you and I'm like, yeah, like, I don't know, like, kind of have a thing with Jay, and you're like, what?
Excuse?
I literally remember sitting on my bed, and you were like, what? That's like so random.
Literally, Jay.
When I okay, wait. When I get to my story of how I was introduced to Jay and Jill, you'll understand so much more as to why that was my reaction.
Okay. I met Jill at our mutual friend's house. She used to
Bree.
have Bree Baker Young, shout out.
Love.
She used to have
She's a cool room.
jam sessions like
Yes.
in her room in the summer times. And we literally went and would play music together, and that's how
Yeah,
I
that was
met
it.
Jill, basically.
Yeah.
Bless.
And then Jay, I met like actually probably around the same time. It was our friend Ian was having a pool party for his graduation.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, this must have been the year after. And
That was when
I
you
just
guys met?
yeah.
When Nat fell down the stairs?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Oh.
I remember that. That was
Side
bad.
note: we have a lot of people that fall down the stairs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, no,
Oh my
I didn't really talk to him. But and then my next impression I think was at Amanda Brown's Halloween party.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah. And,
Round of applause
all I
for
remember, like,
hairless
I don't
Jay.
remember much from that night, but I remember Jay trying to fall asleep on a table covered in beer bottles.
It could basically take up an entire podcast.
Yeah.
So we'll just
Oh,
go
that's
for
right.
it.
Crazy.
itself.
And a few times we used to jam when he was in Midnight Metro back in the past.
Ooh.
Wow.
And I remember when you were at Charlie's and we'd jam.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that was
Oh,
so
yeah.
fun.
That was
Back in the day. But now, here we are.
How'd you meet
Yeah.
Jill?
She just
I
agreed
just
to-
swore.
that was a massive part of the story.
I'm sorry.
Where have you been?
Not here.
Alright,
In the clouds.
Lebo,
Sorry.
give us a small intro.
Basically, I didn't talk to them very much in high school, but like I knew of you guys a lot, and like I just knew you guys as like the music couple, like the so basically,
Couple.
I'd honestly, when I found out that they were getting like together, like I knew they were both musical. I thought it was random too. Like I didn't know you guys like had a thing. I was like, oh okay, like that's cool. I was like, I had no idea, but like. Right, like I just didn't see it coming either.
Literally,
Because I
same,
just didn't know you guys well enough, I guess. But advocate here.
If I'm being frank, I would have never ever seen it coming either. So
See, so I'm not weird.
No.
I'm not weird.
I didn't even know you
It's
guys
not a
knew
bad
each
thing.
other before. Like you started dating. I didn't even know you knew each other.
Jay, I don't
Yeah.
know if you remember us sitting in the
It's not a
stadium
bad thing.
literally when you were finding out from your
Oh.
friend that Jill liked you,
Yeah.
and we were sitting together, and I was like, "What? Jillian Goyo herself?"
Oh,
it was
That's like-
it was amazing.
That's like Cleopatra liking you, like you know.
Oh my god.
I'm kidding.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. There's a lot of 3D renderings of her on Twitter right now.
That was
I'm
triggered.
kidding. Go
I thought
ahead,
you did
go
not know
ahead.
any natural history. I was so worried for you.
I'm literally kidding.
And I was more worried about that joke not landing, but her screwing up really kind of made it go around.
Holy shit.
So, I met Jillian Goyu.
Oh yeah.
How many years ago now?
45.
Yes.
Wow.
We met
So you guys are
40
both in your mid-50s.
45 years ago in grade 10.
Muskoka Woods.
In Muskoka Woods. Okay, wait. I actually have to preface this. The actual probability of me being in this room right now is actually so aggressively low. But, like, me and Jill met at, like, the weirdest of times.
Literally, okay, every single leader that was at Muskoka Woods, like, probably 100, over 100,
Yeah.
were all just lined up, and me and you were coincidentally
Next to each other.
next to each other.
And, and it wasn't even that we were next to each other. I literally just made a comment about a show that we both like, and
Yeah.
Jill like, snaps her neck over and goes,
Yeah.
sorry, did you say something about Wicked? And then from there...
Sorry.
Did
Wait,
you
was
just
this- wait,
mention?
so-
No,
Sorry, I zoned
we
out.
were instantly
Muskoka.
in
But
that
was this in
second.
Muskoka?
Yeah.
This was in Muskoka Woods.
No, this
We
is
just...
in Muskoka Woods. We're on the driveway. We start talking about Wicked. 45 seconds later, we're like, let's take a picture together. And we just
Wow.
have it.
Icons.
Like, we just knew that
Was
we
this
were
like
in.
beginning trip, mid-trip, end trip?
This is
What?
like the first
The
day.
first
day.
And then we spent
So
the 3 days...
You weren't there enough time to get Muskoka gross yet. Like, you know how everyone's kind of
Oh.
gross?
Yeah, no. We were
Yeah.
fresh faced. We were fresh faced and ready. And then after that, so
My
Jill...
dorm smelled horrible. Great.
So with Jill living in like all the way over in Tecumseh and me living in Amherstburg, like that was just such a far drive for our parents to make at any time.
Yeah.
So after Muskoka, we just did not hang out ever, but we would like call each other
all the time.
like twice a month at least.
Yeah.
Like just on the phone, and we would have these 45-minute long phone conversations.
Yeah.
Pals.
But I met.
But we hadn't talked to it for a few weeks, and that's when it happened. When I dropped the bomb.
But before that, I went over. This is how I met Jay actually. So I went over to Jill's
Birthday.
16th birthday, right? No, 15th.
16th or 17th?
No, 17.
17th. So.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Small ass world.
So
Whatever.
I have never hung out with any of Jill's friends.
Oh,
I have never hung out with Jill outside of Muskoka. This is the first time I've actually seen her since Muskoka happened. So like dead ass, like it's been a minute. So I roll up and I literally meet the entirety of the St. Anne's music squad at the time, who are all like beautiful humans, God bless. And I had the beautiful pleasure of in a tent in Jill's backyard meeting Jaden Turnbull,
Wow.
who in the time was in his prime of basketball shorts and shitty sneakers. And I
Thank
was so into it.
God.
I haven't seen you wear basketball shorts like in years.
The funny part about this is I also met Joel, and this is where I also had my first wild time with Joel. Joel didn't bring anything to this party except 2 whole roasted chickens from Sobe.
Oh yeah.
And that was my first impression of Joel
I
Petrie.
found a picture of you with the chicken.
Sidebar, small ass world sidebar about this night. I didn't know Logan at all. I'd never heard of him. I met him like 3 years later. But I knew Jill, and that night was like a big power outage in Tecumseh, I remember. Like, the
Yeah.
power
Yes,
went
the
out.
storm.
And like I was just sitting there, and I know, and everyone was at Jill's party playing music, and I was like, I wish I was there right now, because I knew about it, and like I didn't know, and
That's
I was,
so
yeah,
cry.
I was like so sad.
That's
Now
absolutely
I want to
heartbreaking.
restart my life from the day before that day.
Yeah.
And, like,
I would honestly go back to that party. That
And no,
party was
but
lit.
no, but
Yeah.
like honestly, I would have met Logan there, so I don't know how that would have.
That's
I don't know if that would have changed.
It's so weird,
anything.
actually. The fact
Butterfly
that,
effect.
The
you know,
fact
those-
that I met you guys is still even weird because me and Jill had to hit a point after when we went to university that we stopped talking for a little while, and then when we were started at the
Yeah.
we just things
Grade
and then
12, and then
yes.
we were both
to
in
the at the
drama.
U, and then
Yeah.
like one day she was like, hey, I was in residence just sitting in bed, and she texted me and she was like, hey, what are you doing right now? And I was like, dying. And then she was like, I want you to come meet some really rad people. And then I walked on fucking down, and there you all were, this squad of humans. And I did not know it eventually
Wow.
be revolving
Yeah.
around my life. But
Wow.
And then
I-
we kind of just like morphed you into our group.
like,
That was because we had met from FA. Fuck FA, first of all.
Oh,
Gotta go. This was in January. We
Still haven't
literally
pa-
met in
still haven't
January
passed
of
FA
like
too.
3
Oh, you
years
better
ago or
get
whatever. Like fucking FA. We both failed FA together. It was
It was
amazing.
lovely.
Wait, no, I passed
No.
and you failed. 'Cause
You
I
did
had
this
failed
to
a lot.
me.
It sounds like you guys are saying
Don't
half a
throw
word
your
and
new
not
hard
finishing
drive
it.
Yeah.
I'm like, it's
So-
the fucking piece of
It's
plastic.
Should we
foundation.
clarify?
FA
What's
is
FA?
Foundations of Academic Writing. It's a
It's a
shitty
class.
ass
All
course.
you need to
Basically,
know
how to
is
write sentences and do grammar
Yeah.
in university.
Everyone
Yeah.
has to take it.
And
Yeah.
no-
I didn't have was a STEM student.
I
and
didn't have to
failed
either.
it,
Yeah,
so.
we were STEM people.
STEMs don't have to take
STEMs don't.
What
FA.
does that mean?
Science,
Science,
technology,
Science,
engineering,
technology, engineering.
mechanisms.
Math.
Oh,
What the
science,
Okay.
technology, and
We don't have that
assholes. Actually.
All
Nobody
right.
has time for that.
So
Back on
then-
topic. Back
So
on topic.
here is
Anthony.
how I met the boy, the man himself, Jay
Jill.
Turnbull. I exquisitely punched open the doors to my gym class, which I was 18 minutes late for. On like the first day of grade 9, we met the class or whatever, right? Going through the whole thing. So a couple, I don't know, days, weeks go by or whatever. And all of a sudden, Jaden just did something so rad in a way that made him look strong that I just started calling him Juice. And that literally stuck, that nickname stuck for him for that entire semester. And my mom still calls him
this
Juice
day.
to this day.
You know that was the origin of
And
juice?
and then yeah, we just like went into health class together, just
Juice
fucking shit
T-ball.
up. And we found out we listened to the same music, so after that I was like, I'm gonna keep this boy nice and close.
Like a dog.
Nice and close.
I just
I'm gonna keep this straight.
Man, believe it or not, they bonded
thinking I'm gonna
over
keep
their
it.
mutual love of the song Tub Thumping by Chumbawamba. It's both of their favorite
That's
songs.
actually completely false. Thank you for that.
Let's try though.
But yeah, it was amazing. Like I said, I've known Jill for like her whole life, and never really like came of anything until high school when we were in like drama
Yeah.
stuff together.
Oh yeah. Okay, that's when we became homies.
Yeah, we really
In
did.
drama.
We were like, hey, we like lived next to each other for a couple years. Do you want to just like say 2 words? And you were like, okay,
We're like, yeah.
sure, I guess.
Yes.
What's
All right.
Now that the
Noel?
first sentence of this topic has gone on for 30 minutes.
Okay, Noelle, bring us home.
All
with how
right.
you met them.
So I remember it was second year. That's when I met all of you.
Yep.
Literally like piece by piece. But I remember like I didn't really know Jay. Like he just really sat with you guys, and I was still getting to know everybody. But I distinctly remember like the moment. I think like the first couple like times I said something to Jay and we actually talked as people. And it was I had fallen on the sidewalk coming to school.
Oh yeah.
And
oh my gosh. you called me.
I thought I had broken my ankle, and I called Justin, and I literally was like, Justin, I've fallen and I can't get up.
Yeah.
So Justin said, okay, 1 second. And then he called me a few minutes later while I'm in agony on the ground, and he was like, okay, Selena and Jay are gonna be there in 25
Yeah,
minutes.
I didn't know what to
Hold
do. I
on.
was at home probably
So
watching
I
Netflix.
was trying to get myself off the sidewalk, but I was also laughing my ass off because I could picture Selena and Jay running to the scene, looking like Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy. And
Yes.
I ended up limping my way to the student center. And then they arrived a few minutes later, and I remember they were just like, "Are you okay?" And Jay's like, "Yeah, like Justin called us, said you had fallen and you couldn't get up," and it was just we all kind of laughed for 20 minutes.
Yeah, those are the days.
Yeah, and then,
so
like,
many used to try to do
I
this
realized Jay understood my love of beer when he brought me beer for Secret Santa.
Oh yeah.
God bless.
And then Jill, like, I met a little bit later, but I was also really shy to talk to Jill because, again, she just seemed like so great and like
Oh my
so iconic. And I was like, holy cow, this girl probably thinks I'm sloppy. So
Oh my god.
I was
No,
literally
literally, that
Jill.
was me too. I would always be like, wow, Noelle's really smart and really cool. And like, oh my god, yeah. And then I remember, like, I have no idea, like, what started us talking about
Yeah.
it. But, like, I remember one of our first conversations was about you getting a bracelet with books on it.
Yes.
Recall that.
I remember it was like an Etsy thing, and I'm like,
Yeah.
and I was talking about these book charms. It looks like
Oh my-
charms of
oh
books
my
on
God.
a bracelet, and I was talking about if I should buy it
You
or not.
were so pissed. No, I remember. This is how we got to talk because she was so pumped to get that bracelet, and you're like, "Oh my god, just get the book." And then I was like, "She's getting the fucking bracelet."
I forgot. I so forgot about this.
And then yeah, because I think that was like the first like kind of real conversation we had. And
I
after
was-
that, like now we just like whenever we don't talk a lot, but it's like when I do see you, I'm like super pumped to see you.
I just
Yeah,
want everyone to
we
know
kind of
that.
just mesh.
I just want everyone to know that's listening that Logan is so triggered.
I
He
can
is-
taste the
Why are you
nostalgia
so
on the tip of
triggered?
Yeah,
my taste
honestly,
buds.
guys, this is the most natural reminiscing you've ever heard.
Yeah.
In your life. Yes.
No, honestly, I've never been so
Wow.
sure
The
about
Okay,
nostalgia is
Okay,
running through our
explain
brain cells.
explain your
Yes.
perspective.
Yeah,
on the
no,
story.
no,
What was
like,
your-
Kate,
why
no.
were you so pissed about me and
I remember the argument. I was sitting there and we were talking about this, and you were showing me them, and I thought, Kate, but you actually ended up winning me over. That's what I remember about this
Yeah,
conversation.
because I think
by the-
I was unsure of getting it because I was also broke, which I still
No,
am
I
now,
remember
but-
now. Okay, so no, I was so angry because I was like, why would you go get a book charm? Like the charms are so much more, like the books are so much more detailed than the charms. Like, why does it matter? And plus, you can go buy any book because I thought you could only get those 5 specific charms. And then you informed me that they hand painted any book cover you
Yeah.
wanted, and I was like, boom! And I was just like, the world of possibilities opened for me, and I was immediately so on board.
Amazing.
Creative freedom,
I
man.
remember
I'm
that.
here for that.
I remember that because I didn't realize that you didn't understand that it was custom.
Yeah.
I
you were
was
looking
so
at her so
rattled. I was
angrily,
like,
like-
"Why are you so mad right now?"
To be honest, later that day, I remember you in the car ranting to me about how much it shook you.
Because I just wanted her to get the bracelet. I was like
Wow.
passionate about Etsy at the time,
Oh god, yeah.
and I was just all about getting those custom merches. Like,
Wow.
Well,
It
with
was a
that
good effort.
being said, that is literally how we met all of our friends and stuff. And
Yeah,
such.
Amazing.
That was
that went
interesting.
way off topic.
That was interesting.
Actually, it was really on topic.
Wow,
that was-
predictable.
No,
what's your?
That was interesting though. I didn't know how you guys all
had.
had met, like Jay and Jill. So it was cool to see like from everyone's perspective.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. It's
Um,
cute.
That was really cool.
we're gonna
Wow.
kind of bring this on now to let more of them talk for it. For this to be known, Jaden has a really weird history with breakfast and an obsession of chocolate milk, and we
Oh,
would
yeah.
just like some input, basically on what's going on, man.
What's going on with breakfast?
What's going on with chocolate milk and your
I mean-
vast
Oh
obsession?
my! I've always wanted to know.
Can I just bring up
Chocolate
some
milk.
quotes first, and then you can kind of
Oh, of
bring me
course.
through as we go with the quotes.
whoa.
Okay. I recall we were sitting at a party. I had mentioned that I had gotten a new job that deals with taking blood from people. You had then immediately turned your head to me, said, "Would you be able to take a needle full of chocolate milk
Yep.
and inject it into my entire body?"
Yep.
With no filter, it just aggressively went 0 to 100, and I kind of stood there with no answer, and I just want to know, what the
Could
fuck?
you? Like, could you do that though?
We'll get into that later.
Also, I would like to preface that Jay showed up almost every single day, high school and university,
Yeah.
with a carton of chocolate milk in his
wow.
hand.
No, carton.
No, yeah. Every party, he would show up with a 1-liter carton of chocolate milk. He would go to school with the large cartons of milk from like Tim Hortons
Oh, yeah.
or whatever. We would
Yeah.
stop. Me and Jay used to carpool to school every single day for like 2 years, and every day we would stop at Tim Hortons, and every
Yep.
day he would get chocolate milk. Every single it was iconic.
Yo, that
Amazing.
literally rings the smallest bell in my mind. I remember seeing this guy running or walking down the hallway with like a big chocolate
Yeah.
milk thing.
Oh, I remember.
Always.
No,
Absolutely.
my most triggering
Because
moments.
honestly, I love chocolate milk too. So like, I saw him walking. It was like early in the morning, like at,
And you're like, wow.
Yeah.
and like I was like, wow, like fuck, I wish I had chocolate milk.
Literally.
My most triggering moments of us like having parties and going out is like after the night I'd watch Jay like get so drunk so high, and then I would literally see him pick up a fucking like liter of chocolate milk and pound her back, and
That's
I would
it.
be like,
You got it.
how are you not
That's
throwing
it.
up?
That's it.
How are you not
You got
throwing
it.
up?
We're all here to just say, Jaden, What's going on, man?
I don't know how it started, how the chocolate milk craze started. I just remember one day I had a glass and I was like,
Approximately
that's really good.
Approximately like when in your life?
Probably like grade 7.
Okay.
Yeah.
But like you go,
It wasn't like from birth. It was
no,
not
like
from
help
birth.
us understand something, because I mean, when you go and you like order food or you get something, everybody has that preference that they know what they're going to order right away. Some people just go up for their drinks and just be like, what am I feeling like today? I'll just get an iced tea, or I'll get a water, or I'll get a chocolate milk. No, you went in there with the mindset of, I'm getting a chocolate milk, but I don't know what to eat. Like, so it's just like, what always made you just crave that chocolatey
milk.
goodness?
Yeah, well, exactly. It's exactly that. It's chocolatey goodness. Like, come on. That's all. That's all you need.
Wait, describe the very first sip that you took.
That
In
you
my
remember.
life?
Did like the
In my
heavens
life.
open up?
Get up to the mic.
Did you have a revelatory vision? Did Buddha like appear before you?
Yeah,
Like,
I
need
actually,
to know.
I was studying in Tibet, and I realized I was working on my PhD thesis,
Right.
and I realized
Wait, what subject were you working on, Jade?
philosophy.
For your
And
PhD thesis.
what were some of the philosophers you studied?
Me.
Plato.
Okay.
I recall you wrote a thesis once on how cows usually walk in a straight line, but sometimes they like to astray.
Yeah, exactly. That was something I was working on, but I didn't
In
end up
grade
finishing
7,
that one.
yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
I didn't end up
for
finishing
sure.
that one. I couldn't find enough strong points.
So anyway,
It's understandable.
Yeah, studying Tibet PhD. So I was working on that, and I needed something to fuel me. There was a lot of nights I was staying up at till 5 a.m. working on this.
oh, of course. So like
Right.
first thoughts go like
Yeah.
energy
You
drink,
can't.
coffee.
You
Exactly, yeah.
couldn't see that, but he was flicking through the air as if he was writing a document. As he said that. Just so you know.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
First thought was calcium.
Yeah,
Yeah, right,
calcium.
right. Okay,
Exactly.
so-
Get me some vitamins.
Right.
Yeah, get me ready. So I, grab one of those glasses, grab one of those cartons, did a little bit of introduction. Said, "Hey, carton, this is glass. Hey, what's up? Hey, nice to meet you. Are you from here? Yeah, I am. Thanks. Oh, okay. We'll talk later. Okay, bye.
So at this point, you've never tried it. Right?
Yeah, exactly.
So
Yeah,
that the story obviously
They had-
seduced you to
Yeah,
bring it
hence
home.
the reason they needed an introduction. Yes, of
Okay.
course. So I begin to pour. Can immediately tell. When you just know that something's gonna be great.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
absolutely.
So I was getting that. I was getting that glow.
Yeah.
You could see
Okay.
the sparkle,
Yep.
the sparkle in the glass, the sparkle in life, as I poured.
The circle of life.
Sparkle.
Holding it like Rafiki's holding Simba.
It really sounds like you had
Holding the glass.
like you had some kind of spiritual awakening. Or
Exactly.
something.
Literally
Like-
out of body. He reached Nirvana.
Yeah, I
He's going
did.
through. All
I
right.
did.
He reached
It's like a drinking.
Nirvana.
Exactly.
Like I have a wine glass.
I
wow.
pictured it to be a wine glass.
Yeah,
Yeah.
of course.
It was a wine
chalice.
glass. Sorry.
A chalice.
Yeah. Oh, a chalice. Yeah.
All right.
course.
The Holy
So-
Grail.
Yes.
So literally, you just a fan of chocolate milk and you.
Yeah. That's all there is to it.
Okay, great.
Alright.
Next
I wish there was
question.
a better story.
No, I just tried to get some.
Do you
improv
think
done.
Talking Violet will eventually release their own brand of chocolate?
That would
Shut
actually
your
be genius.
mouth.
Like,
TVCM.
Okay, well, it's hard to make milk. You can't just make milk.
I mean, they'd have to.
Don't think about the limitations. Think about the
Oh,
possibilities.
And
Like,
then
I mean,
they would have to have. Yeah.
You can just
Talking
pour other
Violet,
chocolate
they
milk
have
into
to go to
Talking
the dairy.
Violet.
I can love it.
Yeah.
I can love it. I can see it now.
I love it.
I could.
Milking
I
Violet.
won't.
I love it.
milking
I support it.
Good.
Wow.
Speaking
dairy
of that,
farmers.
their extensive music career that has brought them all the way out just to Toronto
Holy
to get out there and play some
Toronto.
music. How did that?
Toronto.
Tirana.
Tarantino.
How did
Quentin Tarantino.
How did all that? How did Talking Violet start? What was your idea to be like? This is what we're doing, and we're taking it seriously right now.
Nick Rogers.
Nick Rogers.
Shout out.
Yeah, straight up. So Nick Rogers had messaged me on Facebook, asking me if I could write a song for a movie that he was coming out with.
He's a film editor.
Yes,
Wow.
he's a film guy. So I said, heck yeah, man. And like we had been friends prior, like it wasn't just a random guy. Yeah,
Random I was like, hey, you.
exactly. Hey man.
You look
Hey,
cool.
what's up?
I like your chocolate milk. Right, yeah.
Wow.
Chocolate milk started his
I
career.
like
Yeah.
your chocolate milk.
So
Good brand, good brand.
I'm into
Galia.
so yeah, so he told me to write like an indie folk song. I was like, all right. I hadn't written a song like that ever, but that's cool. I was thinking of doing it with my friend Ian, but Ian is not good with deadlines or being on time.
Shout out to
So
Ian.
immediately ditched that idea. I love you, buddy.
Be on time, Ian. You
And then I was
missed
just
your
like,
chance.
Ian, my hero.
I just thought, Jill, hey, what's up? We do music. We like each other.
You guys were dating at
Yeah, we
this
were
point?
dating. Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we hopefully liked each other.
Hopefully.
And yeah,
It's just been a ruse this
It's been a
entire
Yeah.
hot minute.
exactly.
They're like the white stripes. They're just putting on the.
We've been leading this up for like 2 point
You're
whatever.
Like, you guys are like Sonny and Cher.
Yeah,
Like you're keeping it together for the band.
heck yeah, exactly.
Real.
So, yeah.
like Lindsey
All for this
Buckingham and
podcast.
Stevie Nicks.
It's all for this podcast.
It's all for this podcast.
They're breaking up the minute they leave.
Wow, amazing.
So, yeah.
We
That's
wrote a song together.
pretty awesome.
So then yeah.
And then you were just like, wow, here it is.
But then-
no, it actually took a while. Writing class took a while. I remember.
Yeah, but
Clouds
not
was their
that
first single.
long.
Finding
No,
All
I
That
remember.
stuff.
I said like I
Well,
was.
I've
see,
never
I
was
written
like-
a song.
I was like sending
Oh my
you like
goodness.
multiple demos of things. Being like,
Yeah,
Hey,
because
what do you think?
you would like send me like an idea, and then I was like, okay, I'll write some lyrics for it because that's all I really knew how to do at the time. And then, but like,
and then I just like completely changed it, and it was like, sorry, here you go. And you were
oh
like,
yeah,
I
I changed it
yeah.
a few times.
I have a quick question. Do you guys remember Clouds?
No.
No.
Do you remember the song?
Like I mean, like how to play it. And
The
perform
other
it.
okay, one of the times.
Wait, are you serious? You don't remember?
Oh, you mean
No.
how to play it?
Yeah, and like perform it
Yeah.
together.
Yeah.
Can we maybe get a live
Oh,
performance
fuck
at the end of this
no.
podcast?
No,
There's a
no,
guitar
no,
right
no,
behind
no,
you.
Be that
we're
kind,
not
Justin.
doing Clouds.
Don't you dare.
I have
to
never
go on
performed
iTunes.
Clouds.
Okay, wait.
Or-
I need
Unless
to
it's
know.
not like-
Guys,
Come on.
we are the ones who ruined it for them.
I need to know.
Do a song.
I need to know why there is this hate. Listen, Clouds was their first official release song ever, and we all went ape shit for this song. I need to know why there's such a built-up resentment towards.
I
this
can
song.
talk about this. We literally said
No
it
wait,
every
I
single
just,
one of their
I know,
games.
I just.
We
I need
destroyed
to
it
know.
for them.
I need to know.
That can't be it.
I think we have different reasons for wanting
Okay,
it
well,
out.
okay. Well, I have a few. First of all, it's just like it's like weird because when everyone's like thinking that they're gonna go on our band camp and it has nothing to do with what we're doing right
Yeah,
now.
true.
It's
Oh
just
my gosh.
inaccurate. I also like I respect the like I like looking back on like seeing like how artists like change and stuff like that. But I don't know, I could never like we overplayed it. We should have let it go earlier.
Yeah.
Because we hated playing it.
It was
Well,
like
no, we no. I wouldn't.
I
We
like the
didn't.
last
We
two
didn't hate
shows-
it from the get go.
No.
Once
I mean,
we-
like the last like few shows that we played it, I literally remember I was like, I feel so awkward.
Well-
I feel so awkward because I wasn't playing guitar.
Yeah. No, the reason we started like we liked it when we
Oh yeah.
wrote it, but the reason we stopped liking it is because we like realized we were
Changed
changing our
everything.
style
Yeah.
like drastically,
That makes
and then it
sense.
didn't feel representative of us. At
Yeah.
all, really.
You felt
Yeah.
you
I
had
actually
grown
didn't know
from
that you
it.
guys didn't like that song.
Yeah,
before.
me neither.
I
did not
was
know.
waiting for it at your last concert, and I was like, how did they
Oh.
not play their most like iconic song? I literally had no
No.
idea.
We stopped playing Clouds like 6 months ago.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, I
Yeah.
knew you didn't play it because I hadn't heard it in like 5
Yeah.
No,
six
so
ever something.
Yeah.
So you guys really felt you had grown from it?
Oh, for sure.
Okay.
Well, like
Definitely.
even like just instrumentally.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
You know
just
what I
not,
mean?
it's
Like
just not your style.
it will never work
Yeah.
again.
I remember like after that came out and then like we were trying to like write songs still in that style and I was just like
No,
I
and we were
can't
like, no,
do
we
it.
can't do this.
It was good at the time.
Yeah.
It was good for what it was.
What we're doing
at the
now
time.
feels a lot more
Okay.
natural.
Okay.
Even your one of the second or third ones you started playing was like way closer to what you play now. That.
Yeah.
That one.
Yeah.
Which one?
I'm meeting you.
Oh yeah.
I like that song.
We don't play
Yeah.
that song anymore either.
I do
Yeah.
like that song.
It was cool.
Yeah, but
it makes me like it's
I'm
like
not-
ooh, it's really like chill.
I'm not gonna lie, my favorite song still, like from the beginning and still like Concept. Bitch.
Oh.
oh my god,
Bitch,
really?
I still remember. I actually was going through Time Hop and I got like a notification of like me sharing your post for like your very first ever show at Milk. Like it was like your debut Talking Violet, like just you and Jay, like, and I saw it and I literally like. I'm speechless. I'm still speechless. Like a year later, like I still, or was it 2 years? I don't remember now. I'm just like,
Yeah, it's like 2 years.
yeah, it was definitely not a year
Oh, I
ago, because
remember
that's
that
when you
night.
Yeah, I
started
know,
the band.
it's 2 years.
Remember there were those like pastel mini chairs on the ground that we were sitting
We
on?
were sitting on the
Yeah.
floor, like
Yeah.
on mini chairs and on the floor. I
Yeah.
vividly remember sitting.
We were like
front and
swaying.
center.
We were so loud.
Yeah. Yeah,
Hey,
it
you
was.
can't not say we're not the most fucking supportive fan.
Oh,
you guys have.
absolutely.
Oh,
That's, we
yeah.
talk about that often.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
honestly do.
It's like
I say that
I would.
every other day,
If you
I think.
guys needed a roadie to go to like a Japanese
In.
show,
Here I
I
am.
would,
In.
we would all
Here
be
I
there.
am.
The BG.
Yeah, I remember. I don't know. I don't know if you guys even like you guys still obviously play it, but like I don't know
Yeah,
if you
we
guys still
play
like it as much as you used to, because obviously you guys are evolving. But like that's just like the one song where like
Aw.
I heard you guys perform it and I was like, these are my fucking parents. Are you kidding me?
Oh my
Like,
God.
I still like every time I hear it, I
It's
just
funny
get
that
so
you
like
say
nostalgic.
that because like that's the song that we're like on the fence about all the time.
Yeah.
Like it's weird because like it was a folk song and then we're like, oh, we'll try to make it kind of more like what we're doing now.
That's the only one that we like kind of like brought over.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
recorded it to be on the EP, but then we cut it.
Yeah. It was supposed to be on the EP.
Yeah.
I'm gonna cry now. Like, fuck, I'm sad. It's
It's
just
good
like
to
it's
have that history though, to say that like, because then you leave that on a good note.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
Like you just have that. It's not a song that's gonna be overplayed. It's not a song
Right.
that's gonna be like people are gonna hear it all the time. Like, and then just get sick of it.
Right.
It's just like that was it. We
Yeah.
remember the time of how good it was, and then you just kind of move on with like a new style. So
Yeah.
it's
Exactly.
really
It's still a beautiful song, and I'm still in love with it.
Well, then
I was so-
we'll
I was
dedicate
so
it
happy when the EP
to
came
you
out.
From here on out.
I
Because
will
because
cry.
that's my favorite song came out on the EP.
Which one's your favorite?
Beach Plays.
Oh, yes.
Ooh.
I love
Okay,
it.
actually, yeah, Noel
No.
actually was gonna dive into that.
No, that song has such a it's okay. No, like it's just so different from the rest of the EP,
Right.
and like it's so much more like I wouldn't say aggressive, but it's so much more like
Raw.
progressive in it.
Okay, wait.
Raw,
So
it's good.
before we keep on going with that point, I need Jay to explain. So this song, what is it called again?
Beach Place?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
need
yeah.
you to explain the
Uh,
backstory of it
the
because it's
backstory.
funny. It's a good
Oh,
one.
it was a good time. So Jill and I went to Florida last March for vacation. It was an awesome, great time. But the place we were staying at had probably the most ignorant family I've ever come across in my life, and there's about 30 of them.
Great.
Literally.
Yeah.
the most, and then there's 30.
Yeah, there was so much. The grandma, the freaking all the aunts, all the
Extended
uncles.
family, everybody.
was
Yeah, yeah.
brutal.
Wait,
They had a
let's-
distinctive red tent pitched on the
In-
beach
in-
every
in
day.
Indiana.
Oh my
10.
God! Wait.
In
Okay.
Indiana.
Indiana University tent.
On a scale from 1 to 10, how white were they?
That's yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't want to say it, but
Yeah. Okay, great, perfect. Anyways, we got the picture.
Yeah,
Perfect.
so they were just being really ignorant, really loudly, and pretty.
I really can't remember specifics on like their words.
Well, like,
It's probably just tuned
they
it
were,
out.
yeah,
you
it was
know?
just like it was just bad.
Right.
It was just like stupid stuff.
Yeah.
And, like,
Welcome. We have
guest.
a newcomer in the room here.
We have a bratty boy with us. Come and sit next to me. Hello. Come and join us. Come and join.
So that was basically the intro to Jay and Jill, and just
Yes.
basically a little bit about them and everything like
Jables
that.
and Jill.
We're gonna move on to our next topic here that is going around like absolutely crazy with this gun control that's going around in the U.S.
Okay, so yeah, this is a 180.
And this is this is 180.
We went from pleasant things
So
to
nostalgia and then gun control.
Wow. Okay.
We had a good
Nice.
time. Now we're
Ready to
moving
go.
on.
Not have a bad time.
Now we
Here for
get
a
our
bit.
chance to
Not
kind
a
of
long
just
time.
debate on basically what we think about it. It's not even really our country that's going through
It's
it.
not
but
at all.
Literally, we
We're
still
close enough,
stand
though.
beside it enough to be like,
Wow.
fuck, get your shit together.
It's like it's so at this point like I've invested myself so much in America, which is horrible. I've actually
It's pretty
talked to
horrible.
my therapist about how I'm actually depressed when I think of America. Like it's fucked up. So like just to preface,
And honestly, as a room of young,
wow,
I thought you were done.
in the middle of the sentence.
I was gonna
Just like
Your hands up and
randomly-
paused. So when you put your hands up, I was like, oh, she's done talking.
Sorry, Selena.
So to preface, damn it. No, so basically, America. The land of the free.
Who's
we love America. No. So America has had a lot of issues clearly for a lot of years with mass shootings, and especially school shootings. Great. So
Your shirt's
I
American.
just want to point out.
Real
quick.
American flag on it.
guys, this is my work shirt. I'm sorry.
That is just
I don't-
super ironic. Sorry.
Sorry. Anyways, so the most recent shooting, well, not really actually, because there was one at a Michigan school literally yesterday or today. Well,
Are you?
Oh,
serious?
good.
yeah.
Wait,
It
what?
wasn't. It didn't involve any students, but it was a shooting at a dorm, and 2 people
Oh.
were killed. Neither of them were students, but like it happened on a campus. So like,
Holy
what the fuck? Anyways,
How'd you
so
what
the
how'd your
Pardon?
husbands?
What campus?
Oh, fuck, I don't remember.
I think it was like
But-
was it South Michigan U or was it?
Nah.
North Michigan U or East
I don't.
Michigan U?
They have all of them. They have all of them.
Was it Michigan State?
Oh wait,
I don't
might
know.
think
It
it
was
was Michigan
the
State.
place. It the city kind of sounded really like bougie. It was like Mount something or like I don't know. I don't.
Clever.
that might be Mich State then. Yes.
I don't remember which one.
Moving
it was.
on.
Either way, so like the most recent like actual mass school shooting that involved a lot of students, like 17 people died, was in Florida it was Parkland, Florida. I think it was like Stoneman Douglas High School. I
Yeah.
think it was
Oh
called.
my god.
So yeah, that's kind of what started the revolution, and all I can say at this point is I am so proud of the kids.
That's what I was gonna say.
I just my heart like every single fucking baby boomer that is talked down to this generation. This is the biggest fuck you to those people.
She
and
is standing up and waving her arms right now. She's really riled up.
Shut the fuck up. Like it's honestly amazing, and
Yeah.
I like that's all I gotta say. Like I've like fought people on this, like even like I just can't. I'm not even that's yeah. Okay, somebody
I
else
just
go.
want to jump in with this amazing tweet I thought because I've been really keeping up with just what people have been saying about it,
Yes.
and it's funny because I guess the U.S. government is now people are saying they should provide the teachers with guns, and that's a bad idea for a plethora of reasons, but I'm not going to get into it because that's a lot. That's a whole episode.
Actually, a teacher just fired a gun
Yeah.
at a school like
Okay.
a couple days ago.
Oh my
We'll
I'm
get
not
into
even
that
kidding,
more.
like,
We'll
that
get into
actually
that more.
happened.
Can I finish my story,
Oh.
please?
Well, okay.
My hands weren't even up. You didn't even think I was done.
Anyways.
So I was reading this tweet actually, and this one guy was saying like, oh, like providing teachers with guns, you don't even provide your teachers with printer ink and toner.
Yeah.
How are you gonna provide them with guns?
Yeah.
So it's like the lower comment was kind of funny because then this one guy said, well, when they have Glocks, they can negotiate for their toner and their ink. But I just found it funny how most American schools can't even provide basic like new textbooks
Well,
like
yeah.
for their students, but they're talking about providing Glocks.
and that's also assuming that every single teacher would want to do that.
They'd
Yeah.
have to.
But
That's the point,
that's
too.
also that's one argument that they've tried to like put it off as is like it's only the teachers that are like willing and like it's only the teachers that are adept to like
Point
handling
two, though.
guns and like this and that. And I'm
Point
like,
two, your gun's
what?
probably not going to be on you though. It'll probably be in your desk.
It's gonna
If
be
there's a
above the
shooting
chalkboard
going
on the
on,
wall.
yeah, but if there's
Unless
if
they
someone
make up
jumps
the
in
law.
and you are ambushed by a shooter, do you think you're really gonna have time to cross your classroom, grab your gun, and have a Texas shootout?
well, I think the point of it though, like, and, I'm just kind of playing
No,
devil's
it's
advocate
fine.
at this point.
No,
Like,
no.
I don't agree with this at all. Just to point that out, but like, I think the point of arming teachers is not like if a shooter walks in at that first moment, oh, you're gonna shoot. Like, I feel like it's more of like
deterrent.
if you know that there's a shooter in like on the first floor and you're on the second floor, like there's more of like a distraction, I guess, or like you like there's a way to like stop the shooter. Like it's not like obviously if a shooter walks right into your classroom, you're not gonna think, oh,
But
my
that's-
gun is across
That's
the room.
my concern though. How many like at this shooting? Probably there were at the beginning. Like there's still people you're not aware that a shooter is walking through
their
your school.
current platform
gun-
is their
gunshots
their
are
current
pretty-
platform.
No,
is-
but I mean like at the no. What I'm saying, like if you're in separate buildings, like you know what I mean. Like, let's,
Can I just weigh in? The current reason for the bill that they're stating en masse is that they want to create a situation in which it's a deterrent for people. So if a shooter is planning something and they're going through all this shit, they're not going to be like, I know every single teacher in this school has a gun on ready, and if I walk into the wrong classroom where someone's prepared, I'm gonna die, and
Yeah.
that's not what they're down for.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get shot. So it's more of a deterrent at this point. It's something to just be like,
That's
if
just
every
their
single
logic.
teacher has a gun, what kind of shooter's gonna walk into a room full of 31 people?
I
and
think,
That's
a
their
lot, I think
logic.
a lot of them will.
Yeah.
Most of the shooters just end up killing themselves.
That's
on
their
the spot
logic,
anyway.
but-
it's not. It's
A
flawed.
lot of them
It's
go by
flawed.
suicide by cop as well.
Yeah. So
Well,
I
no,
mean,
but
like,
it's also flawed because the
if you
reason
go-
the reason why a lot of people are like wanting to do this is because they want violence, and so
Yeah.
in creating more violence with more weapons, like that's at the end of the day probably what it's gonna do. It's not gonna do any good.
Something's
No.
gonna happen,
I
like
just-
a teacher's gonna shoot someone that thinks they're gonna.
They're gonna
have
shoot
a
you.
gun.
Hold on, hold on,
Have
hold
you
on.
seen-
Justin
hold on.
has been waiting to weigh in on
I don't
this.
even remember what I was gonna say.
Oh, okay.
Okay, well, if you remember, let me know. But just to even point out what you were saying, like you guys have to have seen the Vine where it's like the teacher, it's like the 3 kids in class and like they're laughing and it's this woman, like this teacher, and she's like, she gets
No
up and she's like,
pomegranates?
shut up!
Oh yeah.
Shut up!
I've
Could
seen
you
that one.
fucking imagine if she had a fucking
Oh, yeah.
gun in her
Wow.
desk?
She'd start firing.
She
in his
dead
head
ass
like
would have
an old-
pulled it up and like, shut the fuck
There
up
were
and listen to me.
There
like-
were a few teachers in high school. I was like, I really am glad they did not have a gun.
Yeah.
Because I feel like it would have went badly
Yeah.
for some people.
And-
I mean, I don't know if a teacher would take it that far because they
I feel
kind of
like-
know that if you
Oh,
do that,
I knew
they're
a-
gonna lose their job. If
Okay.
they
I
pull out
knew a
gun.
few-
Here's the thing: as someone who does teach,
They don't care if they lose their
There
job.
are-
There's crazy people. in
No,
this
dead
world.
Yeah, it's more. It's not the fact that the person's a teacher and they're gonna be like, "Oh, my job." It's if you're fucking
It's-
crazy and you have a gun, you're gonna do
Yeah.
crazy.
and y'all
shit.
have all had crazy teachers. You know this.
Yeah.
Like there are
Oh,
some
yeah.
teachers who are
Have
like,
Have you guys not seen the no pomegranates woman?
Yeah. I could go
no, it's not
Imagine
like you
someone
know
pulling
those
a
teachers who
pomegranate
you would
in a
say
classroom.
one thing to, and they would just
Spit it on my
boom,
finger.
Yeah.
gone. Like
Yeah.
that's what's gonna happen.
Yeah, right off the thing.
Yeah.
Mood.
It's unfortunate.
Overwatch jokes in the middle of the guns.
I just don't even think, because there's a lot of debate on, they're saying take away the guns, and I'm just like, no, just have it like the rest of like different countries have it, where just put control on it. You have control on alcohol, you
Oh,
have
yeah.
control on this, you have control on that. Just control it with an age thing and an extensive
Yeah.
mental health sort of background
Yeah.
I
check
think too,
on
though,
that.
I feel like certain things like you shouldn't be able to access assault rifles, kind of thing.
Yeah,
you
it's
like
just the-
Who
handguns.
the fuck?
Handguns.
Hold on, Leo, what were you
Handguns.
gonna say?
I want to tear apart this deer with an assault rifle.
Two things. Okay.
I want
in
to
this-
pre-mince
Hold
my
on.
meat.
In the U.S.
Hold on.
In the U.S., you can't get a Kinder Egg, but you can
Yes.
get an
Yeah.
AR-15. You can get an AR-15. That's
Yeah.
okay.
There's
Yeah.
also,
Yeah.
First
I'm
of
just gonna
all.
say one more argument because I thought it was the other day, and I actually just like said it out of the blue. Like I was sitting with my mom, and she was like, "Yeah, you have a point." And because people always talk about, well, like I have guns to protect myself. I need to protect myself.
Just throw a Tide Pod at a kid.
Oh my.
Okay,
Protect
that.
them from what?
But also, when you think about it, like Kennedy was assassinated by a gun, but he was also surrounded by how many guns?
At least 3.
So a 1 to 3, he should have been winning.
No, obviously.
Did Kennedy get sniped? Like
Yeah.
from a sniper?
Okay,
No,
we're
but
not
what
getting into
no,
this.
but what
We're
I'm
not
saying
getting into
is,
that.
he still was surrounded by guns, best security in the world. Where
Yeah.
Like if you're gonna get
Where?
shot at, you're gonna get shot
How
at.
did, we,
Yeah.
how did we know he got shot and his head didn't just do that?
they released the files.
His
Yeah, because that
Noel,
was a
you,
genuine
Noel,
question.
you didn't examine the question fully.
No, I didn't.
Hold on,
No, I didn't.
hold on. Can we just take a moment? Leo almost just fell over his chair at the realization that
The
that was like,
files confirmed that his head didn't just do that.
I honestly,
Breaking news.
Literally, I just didn't even hear your question. I just thought, holy fuck, why are you questioning me?
Like it literally went in one ear and out
It
the other.
did,
Like,
it
all
did.
of a
I'm
sudden.
And it
sorry.
was-
so did the bullet in
I guess,
Kennedy's
you know
head.
what? I guess,
Oh god, I'm
Go
sorry.
away.
Get out.
I guess,
Edit in and go home right there.
Of
Like,
course, of course.
I guess to answer your question, Justin, I guess we can never be fully sure. People have been known to spontaneously combust. So I
Yeah.
mean, you could totally be right.
yeah,
Yeah.
I'm
yeah.
sorry I snapped.
people-
How do you guys think you feel
Yeah,
right
oh,
before
yeah.
you spontaneously combust?
You probably feel like a
I
little
feel
bit
like-
squeamish, but
I
not
feel
like
like-
fully
I
off.
feel
You know?
like
I feel like it feels like you're
Like
about to
you just
sneeze.
probably feel the right amount
like
of
a
off
fart.
kilter.
Or like your stomach stomach is
think-
like hurting, and then like you just.
But you don't think you're gonna throw up.
I think over the
Yeah.
course of the day you start to like get warmer and warmer,
Yeah.
and then like
a miniature flame.
and then like
It's like you're sneezing in your
you
chest.
start to like sizzle, and then all of a sudden you just like
When you walk into a dark room and it's all of a sudden lighter from the flames producing from yourself.
When all of a sudden Anthony can crack an egg on your arm and it
Shut up.
sizzles.
Oh my
When you
goodness.
walk into a dark room and
Don't get
suddenly
me
it's light and you think, I didn't turn on the light when I
Wow.
walked in here.
I wonder what's going on here, and it's actually just flames coming out of your ears.
This has
Perfect.
been us debating the gun control issue that got
Oh.
super off topic, but that's okay.
No, but
Well,
like,
Control
we can
and
move on
impunity.
to the next subject
Yeah.
if you want, if anyone else has anything to say or.
Honestly, America's garbage.
no, I don't think, and I don't think
Get
it's
your
fair.
shit together, America.
I don't think that's fair. I just
I
feel
think
like
get your shit together, Donald Trump would be a fairer statement.
We're not getting political.
no,
on
but
this
yeah, no,
podcast.
but
We're gonna
our
get torn
Yes,
apart.
it's really the disturbing thing about this whole issue is like how anti-empathetic like their government is to their people. Like
Yes.
that's
Yeah.
so no,
Yes.
it's just so
'Cause
fucking
some of the
weird.
kids like actually like I saw, or at least one girl somehow was on the phone with Trump, and he literally like said the most like irrelevant thing
Go figure.
but
after
it's-
like this
Wow.
girl has gone through such trauma within like the last like 24 hours before she had this conversation, and he literally just I can't even remember it because it is that irrelevant and
McDonald's
like
is much better than Wendy's.
meaningless.
Go figure.
But it just shows that it's just like
love anime.
And like,
Who cares?
Yeah.
what does that say about a society that?
Anime on my side.
What does that say about a society that like treats the people who will eventually be the face of their nation like as absolute idiots or like they
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
don't make valid
Or
points?
no, real.
And like the
Or
fact
just
that and the fact that like having a weapon and being able to protect yourself from other weapons is so like woven into their like need to be a person that they can't even give that up to like stop killing people.
Like to literally save their own children.
Yeah, like it's so
it's
fucked.
like-
Like that goes against like basic like mammalial like properties to like
Yeah.
not want to
Yeah.
help your children.
Yeah.
Like
It's like the Onion article when it's like, there's no way of preventing this, says the only country where this regularly happens.
actually,
no,
Yeah.
it's so weird.
That-
I don't know. That's just my like last little.
Yeah,
thought.
That
I
being
just-
said, it's just get your shit together.
Yeah. Honestly, the kids are doing amazing.
Get your
job.
shit.
I
Get Evernote.
March
this is
for our
like,
lives,
very
support it.
like it's been like so
That video
monumental.
Yeah.
Just because I think that with this situation, I've seen so much like presence from like the youngest generation here, and
Yeah.
I do have faith that like like our generation and like the kids that are like a little bit younger than us, like we're gonna be like relentless. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like we're not like down for this shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like things are gonna change, and like this is the revolution. Like it's fucking.
Shout out to
you know
the
what I mean?
teens.
True.
Yeah.
And I also
it can't.
You know
continue.
something's wrong when the teens have to do something. When the
Yeah.
kids are
Yeah.
doing something,
Yeah.
and you're saying, "Where are the
and
parents?"
like that's what they're like that's a lot of their argument too is like we're like you're the adults, like you should be doing something, like not us, like we don't have time to be teenagers because we're dealing with our best friends being killed in front of us, like and it's actually really it's funny too because like you're just like watching so many people bash on these kids and it's showing their characters like
Yeah.
that much more because like you're literally
hating on a kid.
hating on a child who is scared for their life.
Yeah.
And it's like how can you even put that down as not a valid point? Like these kids are horrified to go to school and it's like
But
They have
people
every
that,
reason to.
The people that are watching that, the kids are seeing their character. The adults are probably just agreeing with them. I'm not saying all of them, but
Yeah.
most of them are agreeing with them, and then that's where you get the conflict.
I'm honestly
Yeah.
afraid to go to any like public place in the U.S. Like I feel
Yeah.
like anything could happen.
Yeah.
And I'm just like
I feel like
Yeah.
I was a
like
little
anyone
bit
here could have a gun.
Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking.
like like in America, like it scares me to like even thinking of going to like concerts in the States or like
Right.
anything. Like I'm just like, do I actually just want to go to Toronto and
I was
like
just right up on the
stick it out in Toronto? Like, do I want to just go? Because like
Stick it out.
literally, because I walk into our school and it's like, okay, yeah, like obviously some fucking crazy person could like walk in and do whatever, but like how much damage are they gonna do? They're not walking around with a fucking AR-15, so it's like, yeah, there could be a crazy
Stabby,
person.
stabby.
Yeah, but like,
Or they're walking around with like a hunting rifle, which you can fucking see from a mile away.
listen, that goes back to my point. What are those fucking
Oh,
guns called?
yeah, me and Selena think they should bring muskets back so
do
they
you
can-
know? Do you know how long?
They fire one
Listen.
inaccurate shot and they reload it for 20 minutes.
I think that if you want a gun,
You
that's
should
the
get a
gun you
musket.
should get.
Get
There it is.
yourself a blunderbuss.
the guy who walks. So this guy walks into an office with a musket. It's an anti-gun ad pretty much. But this guy walks into an office with a musket, aims from like 10 feet away, shoots, and completely misses this guy. And everybody in this office just books it the fuck out of there. And then he's like calmly like pulls out the stick and he's shoving the next round down. And by the time he's like reloaded, everybody's fucking gone. And then the caption at the end is "Guns have changed since we made our laws."
Yeah.
Like,
Exactly.
Real.
Yeah.
Real shit. Real shit.
That's a good point.
Automatic.
This is life is not a game of Fortnite. We don't need assault rifles.
True.
It's true.
Yeah.
We're leaving it on that. Life is
yeah.
not a game of Fortnite.
It's not a game like survival.
Yeah.
Unless.
Or we
Unless-
can continue and not leave it on that point. No, I'm joking. I'm totally kidding. Unless what?
I mean, unless you're
Anthony
new and
is
have zero
eager
wins.
to move
Unless we move on to the next topic.
I'm joking.
Go ahead.
Go.
Okay.
You wanted this.
I make a joke though.
I make a joke.
I make a joke. I make a joke.
I know. I hate you.
Forgive me, someone.
Um,
in this house.
We're gonna get every single person involved in this right now. We're bringing back Mad Libs from the first
Hey,
Oh boy.
I'm excited.
These are gonna be disgusting.
The rules are
Okay, yeah, just
be as savage as possible. Don't be afraid to put adjectives in front of nouns when asking for a noun, and it goes one by one all the way around.
Yeah, we all
And
know
let's
how
only
to
do-
play
let's
Mad
only
Libs.
do one
Yes,
this time,
yes.
so-
yes.
But so is it just on the spot?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's on the
So
spot.
it's like, give me a noun. Just give him a noun.
We're gonna,
like, that's,
we're
yeah.
gonna do
okay,
two
yeah.
because these
First
ones are
thing
short
coming to
ones are
mind.
only like 14 word one. Awkward. That was my Google Siri type Mick
Siri's got
Mick
something
Alexa
to say.
trying
Clearly
to
she's
contact
got
me.
Alexa.
You got something to say.
We might do two because they're short. They're like 13 words.
That's fine. That's fine. Perfect.
That's an unlucky number of words.
Shut up.
I'm not doing this. I'm leaving. Goodbye.
Speaking of 13 being unlucky, who's ready for Friday the 13th?
I feel like you're not
I don't know,
because
just
you
kidding.
you really hurt your knee on
Don't
Friday the 13th.
trigger me already.
And I told
triggered
I even-
myself.
as a joke, I texted you before and I was like, hey, like, watch out, it's Friday the 13th. And literally, I watched the snaps and then I hear that Selena
Broke her leg.
literally broke a fucking leg. And I'm like, I don't know, man.
It was
Like,
a good night.
I sat there for a few minutes and like, did I do something? Like,
We'll go through that night at a different time.
Yeah, we'll talk
So-
about that another day.
This one is 18 words, so we might just only do one.
Okay.
Noelle, you need an adjective.
blue.
Wow.
Oh!
Starting off strong.
Be
Savage.
as savage as possible.
Savage.
I bet your favorite
It's
flavor of
the
ice cream
first
is
thing
vanilla.
that came.
I need
Hey,
to apologize
you
for
can put
those
blue
things
balls
up.
if you wanted
Sure.
to. Literally, that's
it's
the
an
first thing
adjective.
that came
Okay,
to
blue.
mind.
Put it in.
Blue.
Go. Next.
All right.
Sorry.
Next.
All right, so we know who sucks at this game. No. Brad, hold on. We're waiting for the next one. Another adjective. Don't be as clever as blue. That was taken.
let's go with greasy.
Oh, thank God. I thought you were going to say green. I would have slapped you.
You know,
It's not
I kind of
creative
considered
color.
it, but then I was like,
Greasy
I'm
is a
gonna
great
pick another
word.
color.
No, that's a good one. That's a good one. I like greasy.
All right.
Okay.
What's your next one?
Give her to me.
Another adjective.
Cunty.
Okay.
Yeah? Wow.
Selena goes straight for the sab. 100 points.
There it is.
100 points right there.
Yep. Waiting.
You didn't give me it.
We're still waiting. How about one more adjective?
Oh my god.
Covered in hives.
Good.
Yum.
I hope
Love it.
this doesn't fit at all.
Or covered in hives principal. I don't know. If it's principal, I'm gonna
Oh shit.
like.
Wow.
Give me another adjective, Leo.
Holy
What's up with
fuckery.
these
What is the
adjectives?
story?
Harry.
Okay.
Wait, there was another one?
They should make.
Yeah.
They should make Mad Libs where you know what the sentence is going to be before you put the word in.
That's just
that
creating a
looks so
sentence.
fun.
Alright, plural noun.
Ooh. Bitches.
I like that.
Yes. Here for it.
Can I
Yes.
just. Do you mind if I just like add something a little more savage in there?
Sure.
Did I say bitches?
Bitches it is. Jeez.
You'll get your
Fucking
turn.
stutter.
Just checking.
Alright, Jill, give me another plural noun.
Bath salts.
Thank
Oh.
Oh yeah.
Individual grains.
Ooh,
of
bitches and bath salts.
That's what it should have been. Individual grains of it.
Sorry.
I had a dream about bath salts the other day.
Give me an
Like
adjective.
eating face bath salts or like sitting
What
in the
if the best one you can? You're a word guy.
What? Can I, regardless of adjective,
Both,
can
but
we put
opposite.
Dwack the Rack
Yeah.
Jazznack?
Wait, what?
Harsh.
just
Wait.
happened?
Yes.
Can I hear that
New
one more
Year's.
again?
Yes.
Yo,
You don't
I
remember?
didn't know.
Dwayne the Rock
Stop,
Johnson
stop.
turned
You
into
better stop
Dwack
this.
the Rack
Jack
Jazznack.
Oh my god.
We need to go.
I don't even know. Most of us don't remember New Year's.
Oh
I'll put
man.
I
Dwack.
vividly remember
I
that.
try
Vividly.
actively
Please
not
forget
to.
Yeah.
New Year's.
Okay, so I'm going to put this as an adjective. It's Dwack the Rack Jazznicky.
Cool.
Okay.
Okay.
I put 2 thes. 1 second. This is incorrect. I'm correcting. Sel, could you be more of a bitch? No.
Actually, the word is cunty.
No.
Thank you.
Spell cunty. Can I use it in a sentence? Sell.
Good. Thanks.
Part of the bloody. Part
Yep.
of the body plural for myself. Let's
no.
see. Definitely STD infected.
Ew.
Wait, I'm making it. STD infected.
Glad to know we're back in grade 11.
We took a nostalgia
Books.
trip. We going back.
Of Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone.
Oh
Part
my
1.
god.
That's a part of the body?
Whose body has this on? Were they like reading it and they dropped it?
Noel,
and
this
it
is
just,
from the
it
charm.
just, like,
the book charms.
Oh fuck! It's from the book charms.
God damn it.
They
The charms
stitched them in.
are just in the skin, covered by the S. Oh no.
Oh,
That's
stop
awful.
this.
Oh,
We're
no.
done. We're done. We're
Oh,
done.
no.
Anyway.
I don't like using part of the body because usually other things are way funnier.
Great.
Doesn't even play by the rules.
It's fine. It's fine. Whatever.
All right,
No.
tell
just
me.
made
Tell me.
that.
Okay, this is speed round for the rest of them.
Okay.
Noun.
Go.
Breasts. I don't know. I'm not good at this
No,
game.
you have to write breasts.
Breast.
I don't know.
Breast. I
It's
don't
only
know.
one.
No, breasts, I don't know.
I'm not good at this game.
Holy
Okay.
shit.
Oh, my foot fell asleep.
Can that be the nice one?
No.
Lightning round, everyone.
Adjective.
Harry.
No, that was already used.
Was it actually?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Slimy.
Slimy.
Bruh.
Those are my
That was my
Greasy
second
and
one.
slimy.
That was my
No, you
second
didn't.
one. That was in my
I
head.
got it
Wow.
from you know who Joe Santagato is?
Yes.
Yeah.
My
They do
favorite.
Mad Libs, but he
Plural
calls it
noun.
something different.
Yeah,
and he
they're
has
plural
one in
nouns.
his
I
mouth.
saw that one.
Vaginas.
Those are so fucking awesome.
Vaginas. Okay.
Savage vaginas.
Savage.
Yes.
Savage.
Savage vaginas.
Salty.
Exactly that. Ew.
Oh boy.
Gross.
I'm just giving out ideas.
I'm gonna go straight
Another
savage
plural
this
noun.
time.
Loose meat sandwiches.
I'm putting that in capitals to see if she'll scream it when we listen to it.
Loose meat sandwiches!
Oh wait, we're
boy.
listening to it?
Yeah, it reads out loud.
Perfect.
It's really good.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect.
My Google phone is going to read it.
Better put it right up to the mic.
I need
Yes.
an adjective.
An adjective?
Yes.
Yep, that'll be it right there.
An adjective.
Okay, an adjective. I'm really bad at adjectives. I was hoping there would be a noun.
Just give it down. No, I'm just kidding.
No, crusty.
Yeah.
Oh.
Love it.
No. No.
Logs?
Can you change that to brutally
No, I can't.
crusty?
I can't.
Damn it.
Give me a noun.
Oh.
Give me a noun.
That's the noun.
Says the most high person
Sigh.
ever. Speed round. It's gonna cancel on me. You got
Artichoke.
Thank you.
Artichoke.
Bitch.
A wholesome artichoke.
Artichoke mead.
Daddy.
Stop.
Sorry. I'm so sorry.
Daddy. Please.
It happened.
Daddy.
Part of the body, plural.
Part of the body, plural?
Yeah. You don't have to make it a part of the body.
You can do whatever you'd like.
Yeah. Whatever your heart desires.
Toes.
Ooh.
Toast. That's it.
I was trying to combine those two words. I'm like toasty.
Put something in
toes.
front of toes. Make it.
That's what I was wondering
Vesty.
if I could.
Did I just make it?
Vest.
No.
We can
Toes.
switch because I really want to say intestines.
Okay.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Intestines.
He really wanted to say it.
Intestines. Give me something in front of it. What intestines?
What's wrong with intestines?
Okay, intestines. Fine.
That was so. I was so proud in that moment. That was
Wow.
Okay.
He had so much confidence.
He was like,
Intestines.
Intestines.
Like, just, that's
I
it.
just want to say intestines.
No description.
Okay, go ahead. Intestines. Give me a male person in the room right now. Jay. The featured.
Bias.
I'm putting the
Bias.
bias.
I object, Your Honor.
Occam's razor.
Gosh.
I just want to see you depicted in this story.
Yeah.
Ooh,
What if
yeah.
it was reversed?
That's real.
I mean, he might have to deal with intestines.
Yeah.
Oh,
So,
good.
You
Set
might have to
yourself up
deal
for
with
All right.
bullshit.
The last word.
slime and
Ooh,
crust.
part of the body. Here we go.
you got this.
The femur
Ooh.
of
Great.
a well-known ice magician.
What is an ice magician?
An ice magician
Is it
specifically.
a magician that uses ice in his shows, or is
Only, strictly.
That's the
okay.
magic.
Or is he a magician made out
We
of
don't
ice?
know how.
he? Yeah,
What it
or
is.
is he a statue of a magician that's made of ice?
No, or it's a magician who thinks he's a magician because he puts water in the freezer and makes it ice, so he's like, wow, magic.
Or
Alright.
or
That's
it's a magician
Here we
That
go.
makes us
with
all-
We're gonna get
magical
an
ice
actual.
powers.
Hey, shh, put it up to the mic.
Okay, here we go. I call it field trip to the zoo.
Oh no.
Okay,
Try not
class.
to comment so we can hear the
Here
story.
we are at the Blue Zoo. It is a greasy place to enjoy cundy experiences, but in order to do so, you must obey these covered in hives rules. Rule number 1 is personal, have a hairy time. Rule number 2, please don't feed the bitches. Scientifically formulated bath salts to ensure they remain in DWAK, the Rakjasniki health. Human food can upset their STD-infected books of Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone Part 1 and make them sicker than a breast. I don't know. Rule number 3, don't litter. Make sure you throw all of your slimy wrappers and plastic savage vaginas into the sandwiches to keep the zoo sparkling and crusty. Rule number 4, respect boundaries. When you approach a wild artichoke cage, keep your intestines to yourself at all times. Last year, Jay, the featured guest and second vocalist of Talking Violet, attempted to pet an orangutan and almost lost his left femur of a well-known ice magician.
Alright, let's break this down. Let's break this down a little bit.
Oh.
Can we?
Okay.
I don't know
I
if
want to
can
bring
go
it
through
back
I don't
to
know if I
no,
can go
the
through that.
loose meat sandwiches. That entire sentence was, make sure you throw away all of your slimy wrappers and plastic savage vaginas into trashy loose meat sandwiches to keep the
Oh my
zoo
goodness.
sparkly and crusty.
I just got an email from Fortnite, by the way.
Mood.
Leo dabbed.
Wow.
That's a good email.
Okay.
Wait, okay, hold on. I got a joke, and then Justin's got a joke,
I got a
and then
hard
we're gonna
joke.
do a.
I don't actually have
You
a
do.
joke. No, I don't.
Yes, you definitely do.
What the fuck are you talking about?
Dude.
The faces between them right now are
Um,
something I've never seen before.
And then, yeah, we're gonna do closing ceremonies after that.
Closing
We're
it
gonna
right.
talk
go-
about the Olympics.
We're going to
Where we go
advice.
around the room and tell
We
one
give a
piece of advice
Yes.
before the end of it.
I'll
So
start looking for a joke on the internet.
here's my joke. What is the difference between a dirty bus station
Oh my god.
and a crab wearing a bikini?
I mean, what?
I mean, what? One is a crusty bus station. The other is a busty crustacean.
Oh my god.
Y'all are
appreciate
fucking
that.
welcome.
Okay, my joke is a little bit long, so you have to pay really close attention.
Oh no.
Okay.
Oh god.
Oh my god.
Alright.
So there's this couple who just started dating and things are going really well.
Oh no.
One day, the girl finds an old box of love letters from her high school boyfriend. She reads them and just loves how silly they are, the drama of young romance. So on a whim, she sends the letters to her ex-boyfriend thinking he might find them funny too. So that night, she tells her current boyfriend about it and he loses his shit. They get in a huge fight about it and he's all like, why would you send your ex the old love letters? He's going to think you're still in love with him. And she's like, relax, Brandon. Now the night is ruined because Brandon is obsessed. He's like, that ex-boyfriend is going to come back for you. He knows where you live. So after dinner, he drives her home. She lives in one of those big apartment buildings by the freeway, and he walks to her door, but he forgets to lock the door and leaves the windows down. He kisses her goodnight, but things are kind of weird. Then he gets back to his car and starts to drive away, but when he glances in his rearview mirror, his blood turns cold. Guess what's in the back seat? The bag of mulch.
Oh my god. Is this a series by you?
Logan's losing his shit right now. Yeah, no, that wasn't courtesy. Okay, well, first of all, you didn't hear the first half of the joke.
Oh yeah, that wasn't on the podcast.
Yeah.
Oops.
That was over an hour ago. that this
Basically,
joke was told.
if you want to hear the whole joke, watch BoJack Horseman season 2.
Because
I
that-
forgot Jay had seen it, but I knew someone in here hadn't heard the joke before. But it's a real whammy if you tell it like
It's
in
a
the right
real
way. you know?
whammy.
Wow. Alright,
I
are
feel
we gonna
violated in
We
some
are going
sort
to
of way.
continue
Yeah.
with closing ceremonies here. Jay, Jill, thank you guys for coming down
Thanks for having me.
and
I'm going-
being here with us
Yeah.
tonight when you can clearly be doing better things.
Yes. I'm going to
The
link.
gentleness.
I'm gonna link everything of theirs. All of their Talking Violet things. Please go and listen. I'm going to put their song at the end of this video, at the end of this podcast.
Oh my god.
It's gonna be great. I
It's-
love
Wow,
them.
we're not worthy.
It was
Thank
an
you.
hour promotion for
Yes.
Talking About
Yeah.
Surprise.
Surprise.
And
This
with
is
that-
an ad, so you have to pay us
We
now.
expect 18% royalties.
Yes.
We will,
We'll
we're
make
gonna
the
go to the
contract.
right of me this time, where Jay and Jill are sitting. We're gonna put them on the spot really quickly and just say, for our closing ceremonies, we usually just go around and say one piece of advice to leave with the listener, not listeners, because we probably only have one.
Erica.
Erica,
The listener.
the listener. Now, it could be about literally anything.
Yep, no rules.
So,
Mine's gonna be super deep.
with that
Wait,
being said,
we should go this
just
way
a
for the
quick
last.
little snippet of just what's your advice?
Okay, wait. Should we have them go last so they?
Can think of
Have
it.
time?
Wow, just let me talk about how he's going first for the past 15 minutes.
That was-
Well, you know
Say
what?
you wanna
said
go-
it.
You're in your
Otherwise-
moment. You're in your moment.
I was. Okay. Fine. I guess you go last because you're clearly hated by the rest of this group.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
hate you
yeah.
guys.
We hate you guys. Sorry.
Alright. Noble, you're first.
All right. So my advice would be, if you ever have the option between having pizza and not having pizza, always get the pizza. And this is just from a personal experience today, and I had to reach out for some guidance.
Courtesy of
But
Sal.
courtesy of Sel, but
Hello.
I got the pizza.
God bless.
Get
God bless
pizza.
pizza.
Always get
Alright.
this on.
Brad,
Bra-
what do you got
Braddy
for
Boo?
us?
I don't know. How,
What did you just
I don't know.
call me?
I didn't even hear that.
I am. Thank you. Anywho, Brad. Yes.
I don't know how well this is gonna follow that, but I was always told never to pee into a fan.
That's good. That's some good advice.
I don't
here.
know in what kind of situation you would be in that you'd have that opportunity, but
Drunk.
in case that ever
You've
happens,
never been to a peeing in a fan party.
Wow.
It's
You've
incredible.
never been to a peeing in the
Apparently-
fan contest?
apparently
Dude, it's-
I haven't lived.
Wow, clearly not.
Wow.
You got some stuff you gotta check
I'm-
off on
I
your
need-
bucket
Whoa,
list there.
great.
Do I have somewhere to show you?
Waiting for something with that. I
I'm
need to
upset.
expand my horizons a bit.
So,
apparently.
what do you leave us with?
This is a point for all the gals listening,
Okay.
aka Erica. Put on 2 coats of highlight when you're putting on makeup.
Yeah.
One right after you finish concealer, and the other right after you finish your eyeshadow.
That's
Okay.
good advice,
For
actually.
poppin' ass highlight.
That's
You're
good
welcome.
advice.
Okay.
Thank
Justin,
you.
go ahead.
What do you got for us, Justin?
As you become an older man or woman or whatever, get as many blood transfusions as possible so you're just bursting at the seams with blood. And then you'll probably live longer or you might not, but we'll see.
Wow, that's
Leo?
like a really good one.
Iconic, really.
Leo, with that being said, how are you gonna follow that?
Wow.
Honestly, I was gonna give a super simple one. I was gonna suggest some TV shows.
Go for it.
Yeah,
Put it up.
Alright,
Yeah,
word of
go for
advice.
No, okay, I have a couple things. I'm also gonna say what I did last time because I feel like it's very important. I need to say it every time.
I think you do too.
Okay, I'm gonna start with that. Drink more water.
Oh,
I feel like
absolutely.
That's
Yeah,
one of
absolutely.
the most important things.
Can we just give like a quick
Round of applause.
Yeah, and I'm currently going through an obsession right now, so I'm just gonna say it. If you feel like playing Fortnite, download it. Next.
Great.
Download.
gavel is down. Go.
It's free.
Yes, go. Log, your turn.
Go ahead.
Sorry, I was still angry about Justin's point of view. Any
Point of view.
opinion, we'll call it.
Advice.
Advice, whatever it is, yes.
Good advice.
I'm actually going to use something. I recently got to speak with a really bright and shining Canadian playwright who's on the rise lately, and she gave me this piece of advice, so I'm just going to steal it from her. Be honest about what you like. We're so first to vocalize like what we don't want to do and what we're not into, but like in life as you move forward, focusing on what the good is and focusing on what you like to do is so much more proactive than like just trying to be proficient at something that you find like abysmal and like the worst thing ever. Like instead invest in what you do like and try to improve those things and put them into your life.
At Grace Gasparini, go to music school. Thank you.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Now someone has to force Grace to listen
I
to
am
this
going
to the
to
very
send
end.
her this clip, just this clip. I'm sending it to her. You're welcome.
First of all, I'll just extend on this. Grassy, I love you.
Grassy.
And my word of advice
Grasserini.
is always wear good socks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
You
My
never
socks-
know when
My
you're gonna
socks
be
today are like a
sure
medium.
from
They're
shoes.
not good, but it's because I ran out of socks
Okay.
at home right now. But I would say like wearing good socks makes days better.
If anyone wants good sock brand, Puma. Hi, bitch.
What?
Hi there.
Before
Yes, from Costco.
Costco,
Pick
hold
that
on.
up.
What qualifies as a good sock?
One where your feet don't smell.
Wow.
And that is Puma
I think,
socks.
I think
And
it
they
depends on
don't
the
like
season.
make like
Yeah,
they're
it depends
durable,
on the
like, they
season.
don't
Yeah.
make
Summer
They don't.
it's
They don't
thin.
squeak
Yeah,
when
yeah.
it
In the
rolls
summer,
over.
I'm not even wearing
in the
socks
summer,
right now, so I should
someone
have no
need a
comment.
good fin, like one of those like
These are my summer
the
socks.
wide hold
Anklets?
sock. Yeah,
I
got
like
mine from
ankles.
H&M. I don't
Yes.
know.
Oh, yeah.
But in any other
Listen, Mom,
moment,
we're-
like I like a good medium length sock so that like it can hang out with my shoes.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
It, like,
I
adds
think
to
those
it.
It can-
socks with the
'cause
toes
they
should
can-
come back in style.
Toe socks?
Yeah.
Those are so uncomfy.
Yeah. Like,
But they're
No.
they're cool.
I fully remember owning a pair of those when I was a kid.
I like
Me
in
too.
winter having a medium sock too because like it insulates the full boot.
Yeah.
You know?
Amazing.
Okay.
And like
Wow.
you don't get that thing where you're like when you're wearing boots and if it's like an ankle sock
It
Yeah.
just
Slips.
slides
You know
off.
what?
That is my
Yep.
biggest trigger.
Jill works and or worked at H&M, so you should trust her for her
Yeah.
fashion
For
advice.
sure.
Agreed.
I did used to work at
Agreed.
H&M.
And let's finish it off with
No, Anthony
Oh wait,
also
you
still
haven't
has
gone
time.
either.
Jay.
Okay.
The host of the
Jay,
show.
go ahead.
I'm gonna say when you're planning your pedal board, make sure you put the pitch shifting effects first in the chain, just because when you put an octave pedal, like if you were to put it after distortion, it's not gonna be able to pick up the notes as easily. So you gotta make sure that you put those as early in the chain as possible, so it gets the pure signal.
Yeah.
John-
Use
Good
wow.
advice.
Wisdom.
Jay knows nothing about music. Don't listen to him. He's
Jay is not in the coolest band
Please send
ever.
us
or anything.
send us an email if you get something from what Jay
And we're not
just
even
said.
gonna tell you what email to send it to.
Yeah.
We're
Just
just
send an
gonna
email.
guess.
Send an email.
Send an email
Send
to
an email
Google
to someone.
and say and just tell Google.
Send us
something.
ominous email.
Send us a
Perfect.
raven.
Yeah.
Yeah. I actually was so involved in all your guys, I really don't even have one. So,
He's
if
been
you,
planning this for a year, I'm telling you.
No, I'm like literally. I have
kidding,
no
I'm
idea what to
kidding.
say. I guess all you could say is just if you come across an ostrich and an emu and you
Really
just
sticking
don't
the
know
landing here.
which one it is, call your nearest humane society to identify them.
Okay.
With that being said, with
Thank
the
you
landing
guys.
stuck.
Thank you guys for joining in on episode 4 of our
Ooh.
podcast. Thank you, Jay and Jill, for being here.
Thanks,
And we'll catch y'all. Hell yeah.
It's our honor.
Follow them on everything. Listen to all of their music. They're amazing. God bless.
Pushed it in the
And we'll
Cry
catch
bit.
you in the next one.
Peace.
Bye.